"You're not what I expected," the man across from me says, his dark eyes scanning my face with an intensity that makes my skin prickle. I laugh nervously, adjusting my glasses. "Yeah, I know. The photos on those dating apps are always." "No." He leans forward, and something about his expression makes my breath catch. "I mean, you're not supposed to be alive." The wine glass freezes halfway to my lips. "I'm sorry, what?" He tilts his head, studying me like I'm a puzzle he's trying to solve. Aria Romano, 26 years old, works at Romano and Associates law firm, lives in apartment 4C on East 73rd Street. His voice is velvet over steel. Daughter of Vincent Romano, who stole $4 million from my family before he conveniently died last month. My blood turns to ice. And according to my sources, he continues, almost conversationally, "You should have been in the car with him when it exploded." Before we continue, please subscribe to Scarlet Romance Tales. I promise you won't regret it. Now, let's dive into this disaster. Let me back up. My name is Aria Romano, and 24 hours ago I was a completely normal, if slightly boring corporate lawyer who'd finally given in to my best friend's nagging and created a profile on an exclusive dating app for professionals. "You're 26 and you haven't been on a date in 18 months, Maya had said, physically wrestling my phone away from me. "This is an intervention. I've been busy with the merger." "You're always busy with a merger, or a contract, or literally anything that isn't living your life." She'd started filling out my profile with alarming efficiency. "You need to get out there, Aria. Your dad wouldn't want you to spend your entire 20s buried in legal briefs." The mention of my father had made my chest tighten. He'd died 4 weeks ago. Sudden heart attack while driving, the police said. His car had veered off a bridge. They'd barely recovered enough of the body for a funeral. I was still processing, still going through his things, still trying to figure out how to exist in a world where my only family was gone. "Fine," I'd relented. "One date. But if he's terrible, you owe me that overpriced sushi." Maya had squealed and finished my profile within minutes. By that evening, I had 17 matches. "This one," Maya had declared, pointing at a profile. "Alessandro Vitale, 32, CEO of Vitale Enterprises. Look at that jawline, Aria. That is a jawline that could cut glass." The photos showed a devastatingly handsome man, dark hair, sharp features, expensive suits. His bio was minimal: CEO, art collector, looking for intelligent conversation. "He's probably a narcissist," I'd argued, "or he's confident and successful. Message him." I did. And to my surprise, Alessandro had been charming, witty. We'd exchanged messages about obscure legal cases and Italian Renaissance art. He'd suggested dinner at Daniela's, one of the most exclusive restaurants in Manhattan. "This is either going to be amazing or I'm getting murdered," I'd told Maya. Turns out I wasn't entirely wrong. So here I am, sitting across from Alessandro Vitale, wearing my best black dress and the pearl earrings my father gave me for my law school graduation, being casually informed that I'm supposed to be dead. "I think there's been a mistake," I say carefully, setting down my wine glass before I drop it. "I don't know what you're talking about. My father had a heart attack." "Your father," Alessandro interrupts, "was skimming money from shipments that came through his law firm. Money that belonged to my family. $4 million over the course of 3 years. That's insane. My father was a corporate lawyer. He handled contracts and mergers, not. I stop, because Alessandro is pulling out his phone and sliding it across the table. The screen shows bank statements, offshore accounts, transfers with my father's name attached. No. My hands are shaking. No, this is wrong. He wouldn't. He did. Alessandro's voice softened slightly. And when my family discovered it, we handled it. The car accident wasn't an accident, Arya. It was justice. The restaurant suddenly feels too hot, too loud. I can hear my heartbeat in my ears. You killed my father. I didn't personally. He leans back watching me. But yes, my family ordered it. That's how this works. I should run, should scream, should throw my wine in his face and sprint for the exit. But I'm frozen. Because this beautiful, dangerous man is telling me that my father, my brilliant, ethical, sometimes absent but always loving father, was a thief. And that the family I thought was normal grief is actually something much darker. Why am I here? I whisper. If you wanted me dead, why? Because you weren't in the car. Alessandro's dark eyes bore into mine. We were told you would be. That you always accompanied your father on his Friday evening drives. But you weren't there. I had to work late, I say faintly. There was a deposition. Lucky for you. He picks up his wine glass, studying me over the rim. So when I saw your profile on the app, I was curious. Either you're incredibly stupid, using your real name and face when my family wants you dead, or you genuinely have no idea who I am or what your father did. I genuinely have no idea who you are. My voice is stronger now, anger cutting through the shock. I thought you were a CEO who liked Renaissance art. I am. His smile is sharp. I'm also the head of the Vitale crime family. We control most of the shipping and distribution on the East Coast. Your father's firm was supposed to help us move legitimate cargo. Instead, he got greedy. This can't be happening. I matched with a mafia boss on a dating app. A mafia boss whose family murdered my father. So what now? I ask. You're going to kill me in the middle of a Michelin star restaurant? I'm considering my options. Alessandro signals the waiter, who appears instantly. We'll have the tasting menu and another bottle of the Barolo. I'm not eating with you, I hiss when the waiter leaves. You should. It's excellent here. He tilts his head. Besides, if I wanted you dead right now, you'd already be dead. The fact that we're still having this conversation means I'm interested in an alternative solution. What kind of solution? The kind where you pay back what your father stole. I laugh, a slightly hysterical sound. I don't have $4 million. I'm a junior associate. I have student loans and a studio apartment. I'm aware. He pauses as the waiter returns with appetizers, delicate portions of something that probably costs more than my monthly rent. But you have something more valuable. What? Alessandro's smile is slow, predatory. You have a very particular set of skills, Arya Romano. You're a brilliant corporate lawyer. You graduated top of your class at Columbia. You speak 3 languages, and according to my research, you're exceptionally good at finding legal loopholes. My stomach drops. You want me to work for you. I want you to join my organization. Use your skills to help us navigate the increasingly complicated legal landscape. In exchange, I'll consider your father's debt paid. That's insane. That's business. He tastes the appetizer, nods approvingly. You can refuse, of course. But then we're back to the original plan, which ends significantly worse for you. I stare at him. At this beautiful, terrifying man who's somehow turned my blind date into a job interview for a criminal organization. How long? I ask finally. 2 years. You work for me, you stay alive. After that, we're even. And if I say no? Alessandro's expression doesn't change, but something dark flickers in his eyes. Then I finish what we started with your father. And believe me, Arya, I'm much more creative than a simple car accident. The appetizer in front of me suddenly looks like sawdust, but my mind is racing, cataloging options. I could run, but where? If Alessandro found me on a dating app, he can find me anywhere. I could go to the police, but with what evidence? He's been careful. And I'd be accusing one of New York's most powerful businessmen of murder, or I could play along, learn more, find a way out. 2 years, I say. And then I'm free. Completely free. Completely free. Alessandro agrees. He extends his hand across the table. Do we have a deal? I look at his hand. Elegant, strong, probably responsible for more violence than I want to imagine. Then I shake it. We have a deal. His fingers close around mine, warm and firm. Excellent. Welcome to the family, Arya. That's when I realize I've made either the smartest or stupidest decision of my life. Probably both. The next morning, I wake up convinced last night was a fever dream. Then I see the text message. Alessandro Vitale. Car will pick you up at 9 a.m. Bring your laptop and law degree. Dress professionally. Welcome to your first day. I stare at my phone for a full minute. This is real. I've agreed to work for the Mafia. I'm officially the worst lawyer in New York. The car that arrives is a sleek black Mercedes with tinted windows. The driver doesn't speak, just opens the door and waits. I climb in, clutching my briefcase like it's a life preserver. We drive to a building in Tribeca, all glass and steel and aggressive wealth. The elevator requires a key card, which the driver provides. We go up, and up, and up. The penthouse floor is stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows with Manhattan spread out like a promise. Modern furniture. Original artwork that I recognize from auction catalogs. Pieces worth millions. Alessandro is standing at the windows, phone to his ear, speaking rapid Italian. He's wearing a charcoal suit that fits him like sin. And even though I'm furious and terrified, I can't help but notice how unfairly attractive he is. He ends the call and turns. Arya, good. You're on time. Did I have a choice? His lips quirk. Not really. Coffee? I don't want your coffee. I want to know what you expect me to do. Fair enough. He gestures to a conference table where several folders are laid out. These are contracts for our shipping operations, completely legitimate on the surface. But there are complications. The Port Authority is investigating unusual patterns. I need you to restructure our paperwork so everything appears above board. I open the first folder. It takes me about 30 seconds to spot the problem. These invoices don't match the manifests, I say. The weights are off by 20%. Observant? Alessandro sounds almost impressed. Can you fix it? I study the documents, my lawyer brain automatically analyzing loopholes and solutions. I can create a subsidiary company, route the shipments through 3 different entities, spread the discrepancies so they're not noticeable. It'll take about a week to set up properly. You have 3 days. That's impossible. You're very intelligent, Arya. I'm sure you'll manage. He walks to his desk and returns with a laptop. This is yours. Encrypted. All the files you need are already loaded. You'll work from here, where I can supervise. You mean, where you can watch me? Same thing. He sits across from me, close enough that I can smell his cologne, something expensive and woodsy. Consider this your office for the next 2 years. The next 3 days are brutal. I work 16-hour days, restructuring Alessandro's shipping empire while he conducts business around me. I meet his associates, terrifying men with dead eyes who nod respectfully when Alessandro introduces me as our new legal consultant. I witness things I shouldn't. Phone conversations about problems being handled. Meetings where large amounts of cash change hands. Once, I see someone bring Alessandro a gun in a briefcase, and he examines it with the same care other men might give a fine watch. And through it all, Alessandro watches me, studies me, like I'm a fascinating experiment. You're not what I expected, he says on day 3, when I'm buried in paperwork and surviving on my 4th espresso. You said that on our first date. That wasn't a date. That was reconnaissance. He leans back in his chair. But you're handling this better than I anticipated. Most people would have broken by now. Most people didn't grow up poor in Brooklyn, I say, without looking up from my laptop. I've seen worse than you, Mr. Vitale. It's a lie. I grew up in a nice neighborhood, but something about Alessandro makes me want to seem tougher than I am. His laugh is low, genuine. Liar. You grew up on the Upper West Side. Your father sent you to private school. You investigated me. Obviously. He stands and walks to the window. Your father was a self-made man, started as a paralegal, worked his way up. Married your mother when he was 30. She died when you were 7. Cancer. After that, it was just the 2 of you. My throat tightens. Stop. He put everything into your education, worked constantly, rarely dated. His entire world was you and his career. Alessandro's voice is softer now. I understand why he stole from us, Arya. He wanted to give you everything, wanted to build something that would last. He shouldn't have stolen. The words taste bitter. No, he shouldn't have. Alessandro turns to face me. But I understand the impulse. We do terrible things for the people we love. There's something in his eyes, something vulnerable and quickly hidden, that makes me wonder what terrible things Alessandro Vitale has done for love. By the end of the week, I've restructured his entire shipping operation. The new system is legally airtight, layered with enough corporate entities that even the best investigators would need months to unravel it. Impressive, Alessandro says when I present my work. You just saved me millions in legal exposure. Great. Can I go home now? Not yet. He stands, buttoning his suit jacket. We have a business dinner tonight. Black tie. I need you there. Why? Because you're my legal consultant, and because I want the other families to see that I have someone brilliant on my side. He pauses. Also because you owe me 2 years, and I say so. I should refuse, should push back. But there's something in the way Alessandro looks at me, not quite trust, but something close to respect, that makes me hesitate. Fine, I say, but I'm picking my own dress. His smile is wicked. I wouldn't dream of dictating your wardrobe, Arya. He's lying, of course. When I get home, there's a garment bag waiting with a note. This will be perfect. The dress is stunning. Black silk, elegant but dangerous. with a neckline that's just provocative enough to be interesting. It fits perfectly, which means Alessandro knows my measurements. I should be creeped out. Instead, I'm annoyed at how good I look in it. The dinner is at an estate in the Hamptons. Old money wealth, the kind that doesn't advertise but everyone recognizes. We arrive in Alessandro's car, and I realize every eye is on us as we enter. Smile, Alessandro murmurs, his hand settling on the small of my back. You're representing me tonight. The evening is surreal. I meet people with famous last names who speak in coded language about shipments and territories. I shake hands with men I recognize from news articles about organized crime, all of them impeccably dressed and terrifyingly polite. And through it all, Alessandro stays close. His hand never leaves my back. He introduces me as invaluable and brilliant, and I see the other men reassess their opinions of him. You're showing me off, I whisper during a lull. You're an asset, he replies. Assets should be displayed. I'm not a trophy. No. His hand tightens slightly on my waist. You're much more dangerous than that. That's when everything goes wrong. A man approaches, older, silver-haired, with eyes like a shark. Vitale, he says. I heard you found Vincent Romano's daughter. Alessandro's entire demeanor changes. The casual charm vanishes, replaced by something lethal. Marcello. I also heard, the man continues, ignoring the warning in Alessandro's voice, that you're keeping her alive. Interesting choice, considering what her father did. Her debt is being paid through service, Alessandro says coolly. It's handled. Is it? Marcello's gaze slides to me and I feel exposed, evaluated. Or are you getting soft, Alessandro? First you spare the daughter. What's next? Mercy for traitors? The room has gone quiet. Everyone is watching. Careful, Marcello. Alessandro's voice is silk over steel. You're questioning my judgment. I'm questioning your motives. Marcello steps closer. The girl is pretty. I understand the temptation. But she's a liability. Her father betrayed you. Blood demands blood. My heart is pounding so hard I'm sure everyone can hear it. Then it's fortunate, Alessandro says softly, that I make the rules, not you. The tension is suffocating. For a moment, I think they might actually fight. Right here, in this elegant dining room. Then Marcello laughs. Of course. You're the boss. He looks at me again. For now. He walks away, and Alessandro's hand is still on my waist, but now it feels possessive, protective. We're leaving, he says quietly. In the car, Alessandro is silent, furious. I can feel the anger radiating off him. I'm sorry, I say finally. I shouldn't have come. You did nothing wrong. His jaw is tight. Marcello's been looking for an excuse to challenge me. Tonight he found one. Because of me. Because he's an ambitious idiot who thinks I'm weak. Alessandro turns to look at me, and the intensity in his eyes makes my breath catch. You're not a liability, Arya. You're leverage. You're proof that I'm smart enough to turn an enemy into an asset. Don't apologize for existing. Something in my chest loosens. Thank you. Don't thank me. His gaze drops to my lips, then back up. This isn't kindness. It's strategy. But there's something in his expression that suggests it might be more than that. After the dinner incident, everything changes. Alessandro becomes more protective, more present. Instead of working in separate rooms, he insists I use the desk across from his. When I leave the building, there's always a car waiting, always someone watching. You're being paranoid, I tell him after the third day of constant surveillance. I'm being careful. He doesn't look up from his paperwork. Marcello's making moves. I want you safe. I'm not your responsibility. You're my employee. That makes you my responsibility. Finally, he looks at me. Or would you prefer I let Marcello come for you? I shut up after that, but the constant proximity is doing things to me. I'm noticing details I shouldn't. How Alessandro takes his coffee black, how he rolls his sleeves when he's concentrating, how his accent gets thicker when he's angry. I'm also learning that he's not just a ruthless mafia boss. He's brilliant, frighteningly intelligent. He speaks 5 languages, quotes obscure philosophy, and plays chess like he's thinking 20 moves ahead. You went to Harvard, I say one afternoon, when I've found his graduation photo in a background check I definitely wasn't supposed to be running. MIT, actually. Business and engineering. He catches me snooping and raises an eyebrow. Surprised? Yes. I thought mob bosses just, I don't know, inherited the job and shot people. His laugh is sharp. Some do. I prefer to think strategically. Violence is a tool, not a solution. You killed my father. The words hang between us. I did, Alessandro says after a moment. And I'd do it again, because he threatened my family. But I take no pleasure in death, Arya. I'm not a monster. Then what are you? He considers this. I'm a man trying to build something that lasts, an empire that doesn't just survive on fear, but on intelligence and strategy. Your father threatened that. You. He pauses. You could help build it. For 2 years. For 2 years, he agrees, but something in his tone suggests he's thinking longer term. That night, Marcello makes his move. I'm leaving Alessandro's building later than usual because we'd been reviewing a particularly complex contract when the car waiting for me isn't the usual one. I realize too late. The door opens and a man grabs me, pulling me inside. A cloth presses over my face, chloroform, and the world goes dark. When I wake up, I'm in a warehouse. Classic mob move, my terrified brain thinks. Marcello is there, looking pleased with himself. Miss Romano, so glad you could join us. I don't scream. Don't beg. I learned from the last time I was in danger that it doesn't help. Alessandro will come for me, I say instead. I'm counting on it. Marcello crouches in front of me. This isn't about you, girl. This is about proving that Alessandro Vitale is weak, that he values a pretty face over family loyalty. He doesn't value me. I'm just an employee. Then why did he spare you? Why does he keep you so close? Marcello's smile is cruel. No, I think you mean more to him than he admits. And that makes you the perfect bait. He's right, and I hate it. They keep me there for hours. I count the minutes, trying to stay calm. Trying not to think about what happens if Alessandro doesn't come. But of course he comes. The warehouse door explodes inward with enough force to send debris flying. Alessandro storms in with 6 men, all armed, all moving with deadly precision. What happens next is brutal. Alessandro moves through Marcello's men like death itself, efficient, lethal, unstoppable. I close my eyes, but I can hear it, the sounds of violence, the final pleas that go unanswered. When silence falls, Alessandro is there. He cuts through my restraints with shaking hands. Arya. His voice cracks. Are you hurt? I'm fine. But I'm not fine. I'm shaking, terrified, overwhelmed. Alessandro pulls me into his arms, holding me so tightly I can barely breathe. I'm sorry, he says against my hair. I'm so sorry. I should have protected you better. You saved me. I put you in danger in the first place. He pulls back just enough to check me over, his hands gentle despite the blood on them. This is my fault. Marcello's fault, I correct. Where is he? Alessandro's expression goes dark. Being handled. I don't ask what that means. Outside, there are sirens in the distance. Alessandro's men have already disappeared, leaving no trace except Marcello's body, which I specifically don't look at. In the car, Alessandro doesn't let go of me. He keeps one arm around my shoulders, like he's afraid I'll disappear. You could leave? He says quietly. I'd understand if you wanted out of our deal. After this. I'm not leaving. He looks at me surprised. Why not? Because. I pause, trying to find words for something I don't fully understand. Because I'm not done yet. And because you came for me. You didn't have to, but you did. Of course I came for you. His hand cups my face, thumb brushing my cheek. Arya, you're. He stops. Whatever he was about to say dies on his lips. I'm what? I whisper. Important, he says finally. You're important. It's not what he was going to say, but the way he's looking at me, like I'm precious, like I matter, makes my heart stutter. That's when I realize I'm in serious trouble, because I'm falling for Alessandro Vitale, the man who killed my father, the man who blackmailed me into working for him, the man who just burned down a warehouse to save me. After the kidnapping, Alessandro doesn't let me out of his sight. I move into his penthouse. For security, he says, but we both know it's more than that. We fall into a rhythm. Work during the day, dinners together at night, late evening conversations over wine where we talk about everything except what's happening between us. Why did you take over the family business? I ask one night, when we're sitting on his balcony watching the city lights. Alessandro is quiet for a long moment. Because my father was dying, and someone had to. I was 24, fresh out of MIT, planning to start a tech company. Then my father got cancer and everything changed. You gave up your dreams. I built different ones. He looks at me. I'm not a good man, Arya. I've done terrible things. But I'm trying to transform this organization into something sustainable, something that doesn't just survive on violence. Is that even possible? With the right people helping me? Maybe. His hand finds mine on the balcony railing. You've helped more than you know. Your restructuring saved us from federal investigation. Your contracts have opened legitimate revenue streams. You're making my dream possible. His fingers are warm, strong. I should pull away. Instead, I tighten my grip. Alessandro, I'm in love with you, he says suddenly. I know I shouldn't be. I know it's complicated and wrong and breaks every rule. But I'm in love with you, Arya. Have been for weeks now. My heart stops, restarts, races. You killed my father. I did. You blackmailed me into working for you. I did. You're a criminal. I am. He turns to face me fully. And you have every reason to hate me. But I'm asking anyway. Is there any chance you could feel the same way? I should say no. Should run. Should do literally anything except what I do next. Which is kiss him. It's soft at first. Tentative. Testing. But then Alessandro's hand comes up to cup my face, and the kiss deepens into something desperate and claiming and absolutely overwhelming. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. That's a yes then, Alessandro murmurs. That's an I'm completely insane, but I can't help myself. I whisper. I shouldn't love you, but I do. His smile is brilliant. Thank God. I was prepared to spend months convincing you. You're very arrogant. You're very beautiful. He kisses me again, slower this time. Stay with me. Not because of the deal. Not because you're paying off debt. Stay because you want to. The 2 years aren't up. Forget the 2 years. I'm releasing you from our agreement right now. You're free, Aria. You can walk away, and I won't stop you. His thumb brushes my jaw. But I'm asking you to stay anyway. I look at this impossible man, this dangerous, brilliant, complicated man who quotes philosophy and kills people, and somehow made me fall in love with him. I'll stay, I say, but I have conditions. Name them. No more lies, no more secrets. If we're doing this, we do it honestly. Agreed. And I want to help you transform the business. Really transform it. Less violence, more legitimate operations. I want that too. And I pause. If we're going to be together, I need you to understand that I'll never forget what happened to my father. I'll probably never forgive it, but I can accept it and move forward. Alessandro's expression softens. That's all I can ask for. We kiss again, and this time it feels like a promise. The next 6 months are complicated. Alessandro formally introduces me to the organization, not as an employee, but as his partner. Some accept it, others don't. There are challenges, power plays, attempts to undermine us, but we handle them together. I use my legal expertise to gradually shift the business toward legitimate operations. We buy tech companies, real estate, shipping firms. The illegal activities don't disappear. That would be impossible. But they shrink, becoming smaller pieces of a much larger empire. Alessandro is changing too. More careful, more strategic, less quick to violence. You make me want to be better, he tells me one night. You are already good, I reply. You just forgot it. We're not perfect. We fight. We disagree. Sometimes I see him do something that reminds me of the darkness at his core, and I have to walk away until I can process it. But we always come back to each other. 18 months after our disastrous blind date, Alessandro proposes. It's nothing like I expected. No fancy restaurant, no elaborate setup. We're in his office reviewing quarterly reports when he suddenly sets down his pen and looks at me. Marry me. I blink. What? Marry me, Arya. He pulls a ring from his desk drawer. Simple, elegant, with a stone that catches the light. I know I'm supposed to plan some elaborate proposal, take you somewhere romantic, but I can't wait. I want you to be my wife. I want to build this empire with you. I want everything. My heart is racing. That's the worst proposal I've ever heard. It's the only one you're getting. But he's smiling. Say yes. You're impossibly arrogant. You love me anyway. I do. I stand and walk around the desk to where he's sitting. Yes, Alessandro. I'll marry you. His smile is brilliant. He slides the ring onto my finger, then pulls me into his lap. You know, I say against his lips, if someone had told me my dating app match would turn into this, I would have deleted my profile. Lucky you didn't. He kisses me deeply. Best blind date ever. You literally told me you were going to kill me. And yet, here we are. His arms tighten around me. You're mine now, Arya Romano, for better or worse. Mostly worse, knowing you. His laugh rumbles through his chest. Probably, but you signed up for this. I really didn't. Semantics. 6 months later, we get married in a small ceremony. Maya is my maid of honor, still convinced she deserves credit for the whole thing because she made my dating profile. I literally set you up with your husband, she says for the 100th time. You owe me forever. You set me up with a mafia boss who blackmailed me. Details. She grins. You're happy though, right? I look across the room at Alessandro, who's talking with his associates but watching me like I might disappear. When our eyes meet, he smiles. That soft, genuine smile he only gives me. Yeah, I admit, I'm happy. Then my work here is done. That night, Alessandro and I stand on the balcony of our honeymoon suite, looking out at the Rome skyline. Any regrets? He asks, his arms around my waist. So many. I lean back against him. But not about you. Good. He kisses my neck. Because you're stuck with me now, Mrs. Vitale. The Mafia King who wanted me dead. The Mafia King who fell in love with you instead. His hold tightens. Best decision I ever made. I turn in his arms to face him. Second best. Oh? What's the first? Swiping right on my profile. His laugh is low and warm. You swiped first. Because you were hot. And now? Now you're hot, and I love you. I kiss him softly. Even though you're a criminal who ruined my nice, normal life. Your life was boring. It was safe. Safe is overrated. Alessandro cups my face. I love you, Aria. Every complicated, brilliant, challenging part of you. I love you too. I smile. Even though this is literally the worst love story ever. Worst? He raises an eyebrow. I saved you from a boring existence as a corporate lawyer. I gave you adventure, excitement, purpose. You blackmailed me. And made you deliriously happy, he continues, ignoring my interruption. You're welcome. I should argue. Should point out all the ways this relationship is completely insane. Instead, I kiss him. Because he's right. This is the worst love story ever. A blind date that started with a death threat and ended with a wedding. But it's mine. Ours. And I wouldn't change it for anything.